Before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about Conviva. Conviva is an experience optimization platform, and everything we do at Conviva hinges on one simple fact, and that is that all content was created to be consumed in the highest quality possible. So we created a platform essentially that's a viewer-backed platform that can optimize the viewer's experience when it comes to video content. And what we've been amazed, we started the company about 4 years ago and have been amazed at what we found. Today we currently manage just under 2 billion streams a month, so we have a pretty broad sample set when we start talking about statistics and some of the things that we've seen and learned as it relates to content. So first things first, data is not really valuable unless you can act on it. And that's no more, oops, where'd my oil can go? And it's really similar to like an oil, right? You find oil and it's really fairly worthless until you can turn it into energy. And that's how we look at data. That data is great, it's good for editorial decisions, it can drive a lot of decisions on a business side, but if you can't act on data, it becomes less valuable. It's all about the action. And in the quality arena, when we start to look at video, what we've learned is that quality is a much bigger problem than most people know, or that most people think. And that's because once you shine a light on every viewer's experience, every second, every video, every audience member, real time, until you see every viewer's every second behavior and what they're consuming, you really miss a lot. And so as we turned our reporting service on, we started to see that across the board, 2 billion streams, across 88 premium media companies around the world, we saw that on average, around 20% of all views are affected at any given time by buffering. Second, that all viewers, because of the fact that it's not a localized problem, it's an unpredictable transient problem. So the quality problem continuously moves. So all viewers are eventually hit. And I think if we did a poll of this room and asked who's watched a video online and it buffered, I think everybody's hand would go up because everyone's hit at one point. And one other statistic that's been interesting is that over the last 2 years, buffering has almost doubled, which is pretty incredible because most people have a fundamental belief that Moore's law would eventually kick in and capacities would increase. But the fact is that digital distribution and digital media is growing at an unparalleled rate. It continues to grow. People are putting on higher bit rates, more content. And so therefore, buffering's actually doubled over the last 2 years, so it's getting worse. And most companies have very little visibility, as I said, until you see every second of every viewer's experience, you really miss a lot of it. So an interesting statistic here is that if somebody spends just 2.5% of a 10-minute clip in buffering, it's 15 seconds. And so we'll do a little exercise. I'll sit quiet while this clock ticks. And you can see, if you were watching a video, would you stay?
No, I'm gone. I'm out of here. So bored. I want to leave.
Still buffering. Hold on. I'll refresh. Unless. I'll get to that. My straight man's ahead of me here. So, and another statistic that we've seen across 2 billion streams is that just a 1% increase in buffering, 1% of duration in buffering actually decreases a viewer's watching by 3 minutes. So it's not a small sensitive problem anymore. Audiences are becoming far more sensitive to buffering. They want TV quality. They want it on a bigger screen. So buffering is no longer acceptable by the audience. And the last thing is that as viewers have a bad experience to join a video stream, they come back less. This is actually, in long form is less, but in short form, we've seen that if someone has a buffering experience in one clip, a good viewer comes back 5 to 12 times in a month. A viewer that experienced buffering on a short form clip comes back 1 time. And so you think about that impact to your business. That's a significant impact to digital business today. 5 clips, 12 clips every month that are going unwatched because of quality. So as I started, real-time analytics, the ability to see the data is great. You can make great editorial and content decisions. But at Conviva, what we pride ourselves on is the ability to turn on a data engine, essentially, a decision engine, that as you start to have this data come in, we instantly act on it. So we have a product that we call Precision, which is really about stream optimization. It controls resource switching midstream on the internet and controls buffering simultaneously. And with those 2 things in action, what we can do for a company is we can actually raise the bit rates while simultaneously dropping buffering at the same time. Now that's a very powerful statement, and there's probably very few that can say that. But you have to have, one, a real-time data collection system, and you have to have an ability to act on it immediately. Again, back to the oil analogy. Oil is an extremely valuable energy resource, but you got to know what to do with it, and you got to know how to use it. So a couple case points that I want to put up here. We call this the Conviva effect. This was a short-form company, premium music video company in the U.S., trundled along, trying to figure out how to grow the business, try to figure out how they could bring more people into the site, have people consume more. And as you can see here, for the first several months, it was very flat. And they had a sense that something was wrong. And so we turned on insights, we saw the entire audience, and 36% of the audience was having a buffering problem. So in April, we turned on precision, and that was the result. So as you can see, again, it's not a small problem. 4.8% down to below 1%. Bit rates increasing. So again, at the same time, you go from having a situation where you have a buffering audience, they leave, to you actually can decrease buffering, eliminate buffering, and actually increase the picture quality at the same time. And in today's audience, that's absolutely critical. Because again, people are no longer watching streaming as a snacking. You're starting to see people want to go to video sites as a destination. And the only way you can be a destination site, or the only way you can put content on a destination site, is if you have TV quality uninterrupted. And this was the impact. So you look here, and this is ongoing. So it's a customer that we just turned on. So as this goes, you can see the growth continues to climb. And so as we talk about unlocking energy from data, this is the amount of energy that you can unlock. You create a destination site, you create a TV quality experience, high quality, uninterrupted. People will keep coming and coming back for more.
Thank you very much. That was great. Oh, I'll give you this one. Come on over. Okay, you're my new hero. So are you helping Google?
You know, is this on? Can
Yeah,
you hear
sure,
me?
yep.
Okay. So today we're a small company, a small startup. So we are in the process of working with YouTube in several smaller projects. Today we focus primarily on premium content owners.
So let me stop you there. Who do you work with?
We work Viacom, NBC, ABC, Disney.
So where do I see, if I want to go and see one video that's using Conviva?
ABC.com, ESPN3, any live sporting event in the U.S.
So that's all you?
That's all us. And so one thing I want to point out is that the reason we focus on premium media companies is because that's where our value sits. Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's about ad impressions, it's about monetization. And so therefore, there are some people that do video just to, UGC sites just to push it out. But if you think about the fact that people that create valuable content, it's valuable because it's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money because of ad revenues. And the only way ads play is if people watch more video. So that's where we started.
Any questions from the audience? No? Yes, John. Wait.
I'd just love to know how it works.
Yep.
You've nailed something that I know a lot of us have been, we don't want to talk about it. It's almost like...
So just to put it in perspective, we about 2.5 years ago, we had under 50 million streams, and today we have almost 2 billion. So it shows the growth that we've seen. We went from 4 customers to 88. So how it works is it's a small library that sits in the player that pushes out with the player updates, and it feeds back to a central decision brain. It's the FAA of video on the internet. So every viewer is feeding back a constant heartbeat of their state, of their quality, of what's going on the player side. This decision engine sees everything in the internet, all resources. And so as the viewer starts to go into buffering, we know to the second that they're about to go into buffering, and we can midstream switch them to another resource if we in fact see that that's the problem, or if it's a congestion problem at an ISP or a wireless in an office, we see that because we see the CDN, we see the ISP, and then we see the edge, and we can drop the entire audience's bit rate so that we can get everybody to see the highest quality stream possible.
50% of the people out there did not know anything you just said.
I know. Believe me, I didn't either. This is all something that, again, this is a new technology, and I would just submit that if you take anything out of this presentation, it's that you need to create TV quality, high quality video, and to do that, you need to increase your bit rates and decrease buffering simultaneously. We do that. That's all you got to remember.
Amazing. Thank you very much.